I won't include that in the video. I'm very congested still. So I'm sitting in a parking lot here. It's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm just waiting to go pick up my daughter from her art class. She's doing a big painting. It's like an 8-week long art class, and this is the 4th week. So they're finishing up their first big painting on a canvas today, and then they start a new one next week. So that's pretty cool. She really likes it. We've had her in a few sports, and she's, she likes them, but it's not really her thing. She seems to really enjoy this art class, so it's very cool that we're able to do it, and it's close to home. I wanted to record something for the vlog, so last night I recorded a quick review of one of my favorite lenses. It's one that I don't use a lot because it's a very specialized lens. It's a fisheye lens, the Rokinon 8mm F2.8 fisheye for Fuji X mount. It's the version 2. So I recorded it all last night, kind of after everybody went to bed. Yesterday was my daughter's birthday, so yeah, I just wanted to get something done this weekend. Cut to a dramatically lit scene in Scott's kitchen where he's talking about cameras. Just basically my favorite thing in the whole world to do is just blab to a camera about cameras. I'm not gonna lie, it's right up there with leftover pizza as some of my favorite things. Okay, so here we go. So I'm gonna do a quick lens review because I have a lot of lenses. So the lens I'm gonna do is a Fuji X mount lens, surprise, surprise. But it's not a Fujifilm lens, it's a third-party lens. And it's a bit of a specialty lens. It's not a lens that everybody's going to have a need for. It's the Rokinon 8mm f2.8 fisheye lens. This is the version 2, so this is the latest version. When I initially ordered this lens, the first copy I was sent, I bought it on Amazon, and the first copy I was sent was damaged. The aperture didn't work. It was stuck at f22. And it was kind of crunchy when you turn the aperture ring. It didn't do anything, and it made this not normal crunching noise. So I sent that back, and they sent me another one, no questions asked. It's not a lens, like I said, it's not a lens I use a lot, but it wasn't that expensive. You'll find them under a few different names: Rokinon, Samyang, Bauer, I believe, is also the same brand. They're made in Korea. It's actually a really good lens. It's very sharp for the price. The field of view is incredibly wide. It's 180 degrees, and it's got, a proper fisheye distortion. I'll sprinkle in some images I've taken over the past year with this thing as I talk here, but it's all metal. It feels good. It feels very well made. The focus ring has really nice resistance. The aperture ring is clicked, and it goes from f22 all the way to f2.8. It feels great. I believe it's a 6-bladed aperture. Let me just look here. I tried to be prepared for you guys this week, but life gets in the way. Yeah, so like I said, this is for Fuji X mount. They make this for Canon, Samsung NX mount, which, Samsung doesn't make cameras anymore, and Sony E mount. So it's for APS-C size sensors only. Yeah, 6-bladed diaphragm, so 6-bladed aperture. It's got a multi-coated front element, which is nice, because it can glare pretty bad with that big rounded glass element. 11 elements in 8 groups. Whatever. Does it take a good picture? It does. The colors that come through this lens are stunning, and I think that has a lot to do with the coating. I'll try to get the light to hit it here. It's not really working out. I'll take the back cover off. It's a phenomenal lens, and I'm not going to say little because it's not that small of a lens. It's about the same size as the Fujifilm kit lens, so you can sort of see them here, roughly the same size. One thing I don't like about this lens, and I've been meaning to do it, but this silver strip here, I think this is unique to the Fujifilm version. Just they needed to add this on to space it out from the sensor. Like the distance to the sensor wasn't right, so most of the rest of the lenses for the other mounts are a little bit shorter and they don't have this silver part. So I'll put a little bit of electrical tape over that at some point because I don't like the way it looks. What you get in the box, you get rear lens cap and you get a front lens cap. This hood is built in, so, and you need that because the element, as you can see, the element actually sticks up over the short sides of the lens hood. So this cap goes right over the whole thing, and it's never come off on me. I was worried about this cap coming off, but it's never come off. Colors, like I said, colors are really nice through this lens, even better than some of the Fuji colors I find. It just pops a little more. Detail, when you crop in on the images, they look really nice. It's fast enough at f2.8. You're not worried about depth of field with an 8mm fisheye lens. It's equivalent to a 12mm lens when you factor in the APS-C size sensor. It is manual focus as well, but you jump right from, on the focus ring, you jump right from 3.5 feet to infinity in a very small turn. It'll focus down to just under a foot, so just under 30 centimeters. I don't know if, I'm sure there's some sort of creative application for that. Maybe I'll go mess around with this thing when the weather clears up a bit. But for me, this lens is primarily for architectural photography, nighttime photography, particularly stellar photography, to try to kind of get the whole sky in one frame, aiming the camera almost vertically. It's for landscape photography. If you line the horizon up along the center axis of that lens, it will be straight. Any movement above or below that center line and you get that fisheye distortion. So if you can keep this straight, you can get some nice landscapes. Now, some of the stuff on the top and the bottom of the frame will distort because it is a fisheye lens, but you can correct that in Photoshop. I usually don't. If I'm shooting with a fisheye, it's because I want that look. I think it looks cool. So on the camera, I'm just going to put it on my X-T10 here. On the camera, it's fairly front heavy. Because it is all metal, and that silver strip just drives me insane. But this lens and a tripod and some long exposures, stop the aperture way down, and just let this thing soak in about 30 seconds worth of light at night, especially in a city. It's absolutely magical. I'm going to post a picture that I took. I did a photo walk with Bow Photo Supplies, which is a local camera shop, and Fujifilm Canada, and some of their Fuji X photographers, Ian McDonald and some others, a few months ago. Generally, if I'm going somewhere and Fujifilm's going to be there, I'm going to use their lenses. But I wanted to bring this one along because I knew we were going to be on Granville Island, and I thought it would be the perfect place to do some long exposure stuff. It was kind of a partly cloudy night, and the moon was out, and it was just beautiful. So I wanted to just set this thing up and just let the light soak in. And I got a couple of comments from the people that were there that this lens has always intrigued them. So hopefully they see this review. The lens itself, it's around $300. I feel like I didn't pay this much for it. Maybe it was on sale. So it's $370, $370.26 on Amazon.ca right now. So that's Canadian dollars. The Samyang version, is this the version 2? Yeah, the Samyang version. It looks exactly the same. It's $397.71. It usually ships in 1 to 2 months, where the Rokinon one is eligible for Prime. So I know which one I'd pick. If you are in a financial position to pick up this lens and you're not averse to having gear that you don't use all the time, stuff that's maybe going to sit around till you feel inspired to go out and use it, or you need it for some sort of special shoot that you're doing, I would recommend picking up this lens. I think it's a really neat lens to have. If you don't have $300 and whatever dollars kicking around, $370, it's probably not worth it. It's a manual lens. It's manual aperture, manual focus. So if that's not your thing either, you know, you're probably not gonna enjoy this thing. But I think it's a phenomenal lens. I think that it's been probably the most fun lens to shoot with for me, aside from the big XF 100 to 400 millimeter zoom. Rokinon 8mm fisheye lens, the version 2, the F2.8 version 2, WF-LBC approved. If you have the money and you don't mind having gear that sits around, which I don't, because I have major gear acquisition syndrome, and I'm totally fine with it. The first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. I don't have a problem. I love gear. Mwah. So next week, tune in next week. The vlog probably won't go up until Monday. Maybe I'll have it done Sunday night. I doubt it. I am going to be at the Hard Rock Casino in Coquitlam for the, I think it's the 51st annual Variety Club Show of Hearts with Miss 604 and a bunch of other local social media people. We're going to be manning the social lounge as we've done for the past few years, tweeting out about the telethon. It's a great cause. My daughter was a preemie, so I'll be talking about that a little bit next week, which I haven't really done here before. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. I always watch other YouTubers and they do all, oh, don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. That's not me. I'm not going to say that. Even though I just said it, I'm not really going to say that. Like, seriously going to say it. I'll say it as a joke, but it's not my thing. I think you guys know that. But smash that like button.